Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are going to break down how to make your money work for you, not the other way around. We're going to dive into 10 powerful assets that can build some real, lasting wealth.
Okay, so let's just kick things off with a really important question. One that, honestly, most of us never even think to ask. We work so hard for our money, right? We put it in the bank, thinking it's safe, maybe it's growing a little bit. But here's the kicker. The truth is, your money is working way harder for the bank than it is for you.
So, just take a look at this. This little breakdown, it nails the problem perfectly. The bank takes your money, right? They loan it out, make a ton of profit, and then what do? They give you back this tiny little fraction as interest. It's almost insulting. It's like they're just giving you a little parking fee for your own cash. And that gets you thinking, if the bank can make a fortune with your money, why can't you?
And that right there is the big secret the wealthy have figured out. They don't work for money, they make their money work for them. They literally turn every single rupee into an employee. Think about it, an employee that never gets tired, never calls in sick, never asks for a vacation, and just works around the clock 24/7 to build your fortune. So today, we're going to show you exactly how you can start hiring your very own team of money-making employees.
All right, here's the game plan for today. We'll kick things off with a solid foundation, the bedrock. Then we'll fire up the engines of growth. After that, we're diving into the modern gold rush. Think digital assets and side hustles. And we'll wrap it all up with the most powerful assets you already have. Sound good? Let's jump in. Okay, first things first, foundational wealth. We're going to look at two timeless, super powerful assets that are basically the bedrock of any real fortune. And the first one up is an asset that's often called the king, and for a very good reason. I mean, think about it. Land isn't going anywhere. It doesn't just vanish, and its value almost never goes to zero. It's kind of like the silent, steady giant of creating wealth. So what makes real estate so powerful? Well, it's this awesome combination of things. You get appreciation. Its value goes up over time. You get income from rent, and you get security. Yeah, it might be slow and steady, but it's not just about that monthly rent check. It's about building a lasting legacy. Oh, and here's the cool part. It's one of the only assets where you can actually use the bank's money to build your wealth. Pretty smart, huh?
All right, let's move on to our second foundational asset. This one is all about protection. It's what you turn to when the markets get, well, crazy. Gold doesn't make a lot of noise, but man, it can be a lifesaver when you need it.
What's really fascinating about gold is that it basically acts like an insurance policy for all your other investments. When prices for everything start creeping up, that's inflation. Well, gold's value tends to rise right along with it. Sure, its price goes up and down, but listen to this. Empires have come and gone. Currencies have disappeared, but gold? It has been a trusted way to store value for thousands of years. It's your financial shield in an emergency.
Okay, so we've laid our foundation. It's solid, it's secure. Now, let's talk about speed. It's time to look at the assets designed not just to protect your money, but to make it grow, and grow fast. These are the engines that are going to accelerate your whole journey to financial freedom.
So if real estate is the steady king, you can think of stocks as the fast-moving, energetic prince. They're all about high-speed growth. When you buy a stock, you're literally buying a tiny little piece of a business. But you gotta remember, with that higher speed comes more bumps in the road, more volatility. That's why understanding what you're doing is so important here.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The numbers tell the story. Just look at this. Over the long haul, pretty much no other common asset has been able to keep up with the stock market's growth. That difference in the average return, it's huge. We're not talking small potatoes here.
But the real secret sauce with stocks isn't just the growth itself. It's this incredible thing called compounding. It's like magic. It's the point where your money starts making its own money, and then that money starts making money. Check this out. A small, consistent investment, say just 5,000 rupees a month, at a pretty average 12% return, can explode into a staggering 1.7 crore over 30 years. I mean, come on. That is the magic of compounding right there.
Okay, but what if you're thinking, I don't have the time for all that research. I don't want to become a stock market genius. Totally fair. Well, guess what? There's a fantastic asset for you too.
Mutual funds are basically for anyone who wants that stock market growth, but without all the stress. You've got professionals, actual experts, doing all the hard work for you. You can start with just a tiny amount, and your risk is automatically spread out because you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Now look, every investment has some risk. That's just a fact. But mutual funds are a great way to manage it and get on a simple, steady path to growth.
All right, let's shift gears. We're moving into what I like to call the modern gold rush. These are assets that you can literally build from anywhere in the world with nothing more than a laptop and a good idea.
I mean, just think about this for a second. We're talking about assets you create one time, and they can keep paying you, generating passive income for years to come. Now, don't get me wrong, it takes real work up front to create something great, but the payoff, it can be nonstop. You could literally be sleeping and your online course is making a sale. That's the power we're talking about here.
And this leads us to having your own business, even if it's just on the side. A side business, an e-commerce store, these things give you control. It absolutely takes effort. It takes grit, for sure. But these days, a successful side hustle isn't just a nice little luxury. It's becoming a vital second stream of income. It gives you options. And at the end of the day, having options, that's freedom.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important section. We're going to talk about the 3 most powerful assets of all. The ones that no market crash, no recession, nobody can ever take away from you. Because your most reliable, most powerful asset is you. Think about it. The stock market can crash, a business can fail, but a skill can't be stolen. In fact, its value only goes up with experience. You become your own personal money-making machine. But listen, not all skills are created equal. Having a skill is good, but having a high-demand skill, that's a total game changer. When you invest in learning something like AI or sales or digital marketing, you are directly multiplying your own earning power. You go from being replaceable to being highly sought after. And finally, let's talk about 2 assets that are so often overlooked: your network and your health. Your network. It's like this invisible multiplier for your life. The right people bring you ideas and opportunities you would just never find on your own. And then there's your health. Man, your health is the engine that powers everything else. Good health means more energy, better focus, and yeah, ultimately, a higher earning power.
So there you have it. We've covered a ton of ground, from those traditional foundations and growth engines all the way to modern digital tools. And finally, the most important investment of all, yourself.
But, knowing about these 10 paths to wealth, that's only half the battle. The real question, the one that matters, is, what are you going to do now? The only thing standing between where you are today and a wealthier future is taking that first small step. So the only question left to ask is, which path will you step on first?